Well, hi everybody. Welcome to my live stream of whatever the hell I want. As always, I will be on a delay when it comes to the chat. So I'll do my best to make sure that, you guys can see me and I can see the chat. So, yeah, I'll be staring at the table every once in a while. So there you go. A little bit of some 3D printing we did. Have some fun with the Bamboo Lab X1 carbon. So, yeah, that was fun. So how are y'all doing today? Just kind of waiting for everyone to mosey on in. CJ! How's it going? Glad you're here. You are the first through my door. Yeah. You like that thumbnail? That's a pretty good thumbnail. Yeah, the you know me, I don't mind the trolls. They don't bother me. I always get the same ones though, which makes me wonder. So it's kind of weird, to get the same ones over and over again. And I know some of them are the same people who change their names, but for the most part, it's usually just the same ones that show up. So. Yeah, I guess so, huh? That's a good point. All publicity is good publicity. So yeah, as we kind of wait for people to mosey on in, we all know what today is going to be about, right? It's going to be, whatever you guys want. You want to talk about stuff? Talk about stuff. Got a Deadpool in there, right? Some 3D prints we did. This one came out really cool. You guys get to talk to me while being judged by Deadpool. Oh yeah, well that might be bad publicity for sure. Yeah, we're not doing any of that. just so the trolls out there know. Of course, they haven't found me yet because it's kind of early. I'm wondering if they come out after sunset. So, who knows? Cool. Save some for me. In the meantime, I'll be just here in my shop, staring at the wall, waiting for interesting people to show. That kind of thing. Is the cable video on anymore? Probably not. But that's okay. Oh, yes. See, that's the kind of cooking I like right there. You definitely got to get the coffee going. Oh, man, I forgot my drink in the house. It's sitting next to my computer. I wonder if anyone will bring it to me. This will tell us how long the delay is. The delay must be a long time. Because my drink is still sitting next to my computer. Or my wife wife's doing homework and just not paying attention to the sound. That's okay. I'll die slowly of dehydration. That's alright. I still have you, tobacco. So I named the stream King of the Troll Hunters, and almost no one says it. Hey, Aaron, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I put Troll Hunters, King of the Troll Hunters on the title. None of the trolls have showed up that I've been getting, which is kind of disappointing because it's always the same ones, and they're so much fun. So what are you up to today, Aaron? Just everybody seems to be doom scrolling today, and I'm doom streaming. Just kind of hanging out, you know. Talk about the projects if anyone's interested. They're all on my channel. If you like drones, if you like big turbine engines, if you like what seems to be impossible to print on a 3D printer and watching it run, you're at the right place. Or if you just want to talk about anything in general. Usually people like to go in there and throw out religion and politics, and that's like, seems to be the only issues that this generation knows of. Not all the other issues that we have in this country, you know, but hey, whatever, right? So, that's what we're here for. Just to chill, relax, you know, take a load off. Friday's almost here for everyone, right? Whose Friday is it today? I mean, you're already celebrating. Yes, I doubt I'll have a large audience. But that's okay. For I am King of the Troll Hunters. So, any interested people out there? Have anything to say? They're just watching, not talking, not asking questions. Let's pick a subject and talk about it. Anybody? Pope Francis? He passed, and they had this book that they were talking about in the Vatican, like hidden deep within the Vatican. And that sort of shows all the names of the popes that there will be, all the way to the last pope. And they said, oh, it accurately predicts these popes, but the popes change their name when they accept the role. So, yeah, all the names are going to match in the book because they already know what they are. So, I'm not exactly sure how that's somehow telling the future. So, yeah, there's that. It's Diddy again! Yes! One of my favorite trolls. How are you today, No Diddy? Hope you're doing fine. Welcome once again to another stream where we talk about things that may be offensive to some and may be disagreeable with others. And I learned from Instagram that absolutely nobody wants to hear an opinion other than their own. Why isn't your life fine? What's so horrible about life? You need reparations? Why? You need reparations. Explain exactly why you need reparations. Please. I'm not. Does that say? Anyway, I can't see that font, whatever it is. Crazy once, they locked me in a rubber room filled with rats. Rats make me crazy. That seems a little bit non-conducive to therapy. Okay, so Diddy says he needs reparations. You need reparations also? You know what? So do I. My people were slaves long before yours. All the way back to the Renaissance era. Oh, okay. I didn't, yeah. I see it. Interesting font. I don't need to pay for shit. You know, I mean, my grandfather wasn't a slave. Your grandfather wasn't a slave. And mine certainly didn't own any. So, yeah, I'm afraid I don't know your shit. Oh, I'm a racist? Well, if you say so. You're the one that brought it up. You came in and said you need reparations and that I need to pay them, which means you automatically assumed you knew my race. So what does that make you? A bigot. So, yeah. Ayo, Glory. Glad you're here, man. We got a troll in the chat. He thinks I owe reparations. So I'm going to let you go on that one. So yeah, that's one of the most ridiculous statements I've ever heard is reparations. I mean, get a job. You'll be fine. Yeah, I know. He's getting wound up right now. He's like, it's like, oh man, go for it, Glory. Deadpool. Darn right, Rage. Oh, that was directed at you, old Glory. I have no idea what they're talking about. Someone enlightened me. Oh, profile picture. I got you. Most people... What's funny is what people think it is. And if you look close enough, and your mind isn't in the gutter already, you'll figure out what it is. I have a because... Don't you know? Red Beard Deadpool. Because I printed it, and I thought it was cool. Like, there's a couple other things here, like a Game of Thrones dragon, and this cool flag, all printed in one piece, you know. I just thought it looked neat, you know. Is it scary? You have no siblings, okay? Not sure the relevance. Let's see here. Where's No Diddy at? Did he take off? So, because he didn't get his reparations? Evan! One of my other favorite trolls. You guys are all welcome every time. The mask is petrifying. I'm so sorry for your petrification. Let's go out into the night. Your mother and I... Oh, okay. I'm not going to read that one. Oh, Glory, that one's on you. You're not a troll. Are you sure? Even Old Glory said it right when I was saying it. That's funny. No, I don't think you're honest. I don't think anyone's really a troll. I mean, they sometimes they come in and they say, you know, stupid stuff like they just threw words together and just like this will sound funny, and then it doesn't. Sort of backfires. Skull Crusher though, man. Oh, you like that one, Skull Crusher? Yeah? That one's cool. I can't, you know what, to be honest with you, because of the beard, it just doesn't work. I can't get the thing to, it's held on by magnets, because this is that magnetic one. But, so you can kind of change out the pieces. But, yeah, with my beard, not going to happen. Already tried it. Put it on. I thought one time I was going to actually put the mask on for a live, and then I looked in the mirror after putting it on, and it's like it looks like Deadpool's got just a big ass set of nuts right here. So it just didn't work because of the beard. Who's the adult nerd child? You're referring? Is that me? I'll take that. I never grew up. I still have fun. To this day, not worried about a dang thing. Having a good time. Getting VA benefits. Not having to go to work. Not having to pay taxes. Not having to even pay to register my car. Life is great. Tips with Mason. Slicer. Hold on, let me catch up. Yeah, I ain't shaved my beard. It's sacrilege. I don't even know what that means, but okay. Why do you want me to be in a campfire with a Bluetooth speaker? I don't understand the reference. I don't like beer anyway. I mean, if you're gonna drink, you drink. Beer is just a sort of I want to drink, but I'm not brave enough to kind of thing. What's up, the puncher? Welcome. Simon Wood, welcome. If I'm looking down here, it's because I'm looking at the chat. I've told you that before, and it's mainly because I have no access to the front of the phone to look at the chat, because I'm filming with the rear-facing camera. Who's trolling you? Me? Trolls trolling each other. Ready, fight. You've never been in a simulation where you're super... Wait, hold on. In a situation where you're super angry at someone but can't do anything about it. Not really. I don't harbor anger like that. And any of the people that I was really angry with during my service is no longer with us. That would be the enemy. And yeah, I got angry at them a couple times, especially when I took a round of the knee. But the point is, I ended up ending all of their existences. Let's just say I made orphans. Call me the orphan maker. Yes, I was in the war. A veteran. Mason, what's going on, man? Why are you like capsing your sorry and stuff? What's up? Quit gaming. You have your own YouTube channel. I'll check it out. Now, I'll probably need some tips from you because I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I do a live stream, I'm fine. People want to come in and listen, talk to me, whatever. But when I'm doing like Warzone and stuff online, I get like 17 people that look. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You might be able to help me out. So I appreciate you being here. What are you talking about, Mason? No one's here to hurt you. Dawson! Dawson's back. All glory. Yeah, Mason, go clean your room. Brain dead. Okay. 3D printing work. 3D printer workshop. Yes, actually, it's a 3D printer workshop on a massive scale. Not little 3D prints. This is just some of the cool stuff I did. Go back and look at some of the 340 millimeter EDF 22 blade high pass engines that I made for a drone I'm going to build that's going to scare the living crap out of everyone for 6 miles. Whoever can see it in the air. Especially since it's going to be lit up with Arduino like crazy and have a huge spotlight on the bottom. So like I can fly it way up in the air, and then when I get over somebody, just shine the spotlight down. They think they're being abducted. It'll be great. It'll be on the news, more than likely. It'd be fun. Oh, Bankhead's back. Yeah, he always comes in here and says the same line. "100 men versus 1 grizzly bear. Who's winning?" The 308. It's ironic that you said that, man. Right after I answered the question. Well, I figured if there's at least one real man out there facing a grizzly bear, he has a 308. So the other 99 can just stand by and watch. I did start with 3D modeling back in the day, believe it or not, on 3D Studio Max, and it was a long time ago, and it was literally to the point where we were excited that we got the first Pentium. Okay, so I got on my T-Rex, went to school, and then parked it with the other dinosaurs, and then went into the lab, and we had just got the Pentium, and we had to start 3ds Max from DOS. We had to leave Windows completely and then start it from DOS using the exe file, and that was insane having to do it that way, but that's where it started. So and there was no real security to the system other than like, you know, online security or subscriptions or anything like that. It was somebody paid $3,000 for the program, and it came with a security block that went to the LPT port on the back of the computer. And if you didn't have that block, you couldn't run the program. That's how rudimentary the whole system was. But it definitely today you can do stuff a lot faster. God bless America. Absolutely. It is the best country. Makes you wonder why Canada doesn't want to join. You know, they'd rather just be the nosy neighbor that peeks over the fence every once in a while. They say, "Hey, can you turn that down, okay? We're like trying to sleep up here. I'm sorry to bother you." It's like, stay on your side of the fence. Old Glory's on it. He's on it. Yeah. Mason, what are you talking about a clean room for? I think you got that wrong there, Evan. Canada is a loft apartment over a really great party. That's what you meant to say. Ready? Read up, bro. What are you talking about, Mason? Are you talking Old Glory or what's up? I'm on the same delay you guys are on the chat. I apologize for that. You know what's funny? The irony to that statement that you made, Evan, is the fact that most of the people who are making that drug are doing it in colder climates up north. Can't imagine why. Might have something to do with your borders not being very secure. I don't know. Oh, that's right. You need our help to do it. Can you say tariff? Can you imagine a war between Canada and the United States? You know? It would be literally like watching a huge group of Penguins try to say we're sorry over and over again at the same time. That's what it would be. I mean, you got Justin Trudeau. Is he out yet? I mean, I hope for God's sakes that he's out for your sake, you know. But if he's running stuff, I mean, he's not. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Play blackface again? Try to scare us all off? Nothing. If there was a war between the U.S. and Canada, it'd be real simple. We'd have a new front yard. Bottom line. As long that's okay. I'm not in Indiana, nor do I care about that particular substance whatsoever. Oh yeah. All right, you guys are going at it. I love it. I love it. More trolls, more people. See, usually the trolls come in and they go after the person hosting. Instead, you're all going after each other. So, it's almost like a troll fight club. So let's do it. Go on, you guys. I love reading the comments. I'm loving it. The state of Florida has almost the same GDP as your country. Florida is part of our country. Just FYI. Love it when people come in and do that. I had a debate with so many people on Instagram. They were like, okay, so I run onto these reels where people are like, I'm not Christian anymore, blah, 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 blah. And they give the example.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Old Glory was talking to Evan, just to clarify.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm trying to catch up with it. I tell Dale it's on him. Hey, I still have my drink on my desk. Please bring it. Professor Oak, no, I'm saying that there's we get a lot of, what are you talking about?
What'd you say? What are you talking about?
Hold on. I wasn't calling you a troll. I'm talking about the ones who come in and do the trolling. So that's what the whole name of the stream is. The mango drink over there. I opened. I forgot to bring it out. I'm asking for your help, man.
I open the door and you're all, what are you talking about?
It's because I had that question in my head that he's... Okay. Alright. I got it. We're back on the same page. What do I make of my existence? Everything that I can while I'm here. That includes telling everyone, you're all human beings, you all deserve salvation. Those who don't believe in God, sorry, you will eventually. Yeah, because what I was getting to was I was having a debate online about how these people were on Instagram talking about, they said, yeah, I'm not a Christian anymore because like I was reading in the Bible and it says this. And I'm thinking to myself, you have any idea how many things are wrong with that statement? You're going to say you're not a Christian and don't believe in God by using the Bible. Does any of that make sense? Then you say it's a fairy tale book, but still use verses out of it to try to disprove God or the Bible. Again, another fail. So to all those people who are putting out those reels, where they're like, yeah, I'm not a Christian anymore because the Bible said this. It's like, you either have a very shallow understanding of the Bible, you weren't open to even to try and understand it. Therefore, you just walked away in ignorance, trying to debunk God with the Bible. Okay. Rock on. More power to you. Have fun with that. GW! Welcome, man. Evan, is that for me? Are you asking me how much the eggs are here? Free. When you have chickens. And they'll last a hell of a lot longer. Set them on the counter a month. They don't go bad. So you gotta be smarter than, some other people. I have a tilapia farm where I grow tilapia and put the fillets in the freezer. We have eggs. With the chickens, we have vegetables we're growing in the garden, so on and so forth. Aquaponics is a big part of growing things off the ground, so you don't have to worry about insects or snails eating your crops and having to use pesticides and things like that. So. Okay, hold on. Do you think purpose is something people have meaning in life? Well, everybody has a desire to do something specific, so you have to define purpose in another context. Are you talking about a whole life context? Like, what's my purpose spiritually, physically, economically? What's my purpose to continue? Your purpose to exist is to find the truth and go to it. And for all of those who are wondering, yes, this is when the chat empties out, I am Christian. Christ is the only way back to God. Yes, I know everyone's going to throw all the stuff in the Bible in my face about how this, there were slaves here and God said this and that and the other, but they fail to realize that man brought sin into the world by disobeying. And all of the evil in the world, they're like, why does God let all this evil stuff happen? I say, you're going to try and tell me that all the evil stuff that men do who are given a choice between right and wrong is God's fault? No, God gave you a choice so that you could choose Him or not. Plain and simple. I mean, it's all in writing. Read the Bible. Start in John. And read. Ask the Holy Spirit to reveal God to you and you'll see it. But you have to look at it with the intent in your heart to find the truth, and that's what most people don't want to do. So that's why you see all these reels. I read the Bible and basically took a couple of verses out of context, and now I'm not a Christian. Well, you condemned yourself out of total ignorance rather than asking for guidance. Mason, someone. You guys know that we're all human, right? And I sincerely wish that people understood that. Yes, the mask is wearable. I just can't do it with the beard, so I don't. But yeah, it's the magnetic one. Printed it off the X1 carbon. Has all the removable pieces inside. I'm gonna give it away to a lucky viewer, I guess, because my head's bigger. So, and with the beard, it doesn't work. Do you think a person is on this very planet on which we think? What do you think your purpose? My purpose? My purpose is to basically find the truth. And find my way back to God in a world of wickedness where people just don't even care or don't even know when they're sinning. My purpose is to try to not enlighten people, but just I can't force you to make a decision. So, but I am going to tell you my truth. I'm going to tell you that I care what happens to people. And if I can bring somebody to Christ, then that would be the ultimate honor for me to do for my King. And if I only save one, then I believe I've done good. I won't stop at one, but I will always proclaim my faith. I will stand by it firmly, and any other religion wouldn't take me seriously if I didn't proclaim my faith, and if I didn't disagree with some of their religious practices because they are not in line with my belief, which I know is the truth. So, yeah, that's my purpose. My purpose is to be someone. I love to create things, which is why on my channel you'll see tons of different types of aircraft and experimental engines and little knickknacks like this I do for the family, and masks and stuff that I can't even wear because I like creating things. And all I can hope for is that I have some kind of positive influence in somebody. Whether you're feeling down or whether you're feeling like you don't have a purpose or you don't have a role in life, you do. If you are enduring a struggle, it's because God wants you to become stronger from it. That's just the whole point. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's about enduring to the end in a world full of wickedness. But not giving up on those other people, because they also, no matter who they are, deserve a chance at salvation. And they can have it if they have the heart to just look into it. You know, if they don't believe, just look into it. Read the Bible. Do it with an open heart. You know, and if you have questions about what you're reading because you either don't understand the context or things like that, there are commentaries you can find that can help you to understand it. There's tons of scholars out there that would be happy to answer questions about it. And if you have something that you don't quite understand, because I don't have all the answers. I have most of them. No, I'm just doing my best to be the person I'm meant to be. And that's my purpose. Do you know who you're scared of now? Why would you have to do that, Simon? You guys are all on a screen talking to each other. These kind of the threats and stuff like that, they don't work. First off, if you guys had an actual beef on here and you met in person and didn't even know it, you might be best friends. You never know. You can't really judge someone based on what they're willing to spout out in a chat, because typically it's who they really are. Sometimes it is. Sometimes they're worse. And others, they're just lonely. You know, they just want friends. They want someone to talk to. They want someone who understands what they're going through or whatever, you know? So be that person. You know? Help somebody out. Oh, I missed that. You're a feminist. You're a feminist. You exist. I'm going to assume what that says in the middle there, but I'm not going to say it. So how does that work, being a feminist? If you don't need anybody else, especially a man, then who is it that you are contributing yourself to? Why would we use the Second Amendment against any of us? I mean, unless someone's like breaking into your house and you're defending your family, I get that. But why would you use the Second Amendment based on the fact that you don't like what somebody says in chat? That's ridiculous. It's cowardice. Because you say it from behind a screen, you're not even showing your face. Yeah, I believe so. Oh Lord, it would be. And that's one of the points I'm trying to make, because even the people who are angry or you know, do spout now, you know, maybe they're angry at something in their life and this is an outlet. So they take it out on somebody else. Don't take it personal. You know, because like I said, you might know this person here and then not even know them out on the street and be best friends with them. And not even know. And then eventually you'd find out, oh, you were that guy? Oh, you were that guy? It's like, oh, yeah, dude, no, I didn't mean any of that. So we were just messing around online. You see what I mean? there's more to life than hating people. I don't hate anybody. I have no room for hate for people. I protect my family. There's a difference between being disgusted with what, let's say, some of what Hollywood has done to children specifically, and there's a difference between that and hating that and someone specifically. And that's because you hate the sin of the world. You don't need, to be honest with you, if anyone hurt a child, literally within my reach, within my sight, yeah, I'd step in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Because our children need to be defended, they need to be protected, they need to be nurtured, they need to be taught the difference between right and wrong. They need to understand morality. And the reason why is because these are the people that are going to grow. And not only are they precious because they're children, they're precious because they are the future of this nation. So when you as you're growing up, getting into chats and things like that, and you're saying such, some people say horrible things and to each other, or they say horrible things to me, which doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. But you're the leaders of the next generation, the young ones. You're the leaders of this next world, of what's left of our world. So hold yourself accountable. You're going to be a part of the world. You're going to contribute to it. Some of you will lead, some of you will follow. Just act accordingly, for crying out loud. All this hate, these phobias of other people and stuff like that. It's like, I don't agree with the, I forget how many there are, so I'm going to just say the alphabet community, not to be insulting, but just because there's so many now, I never know. It's a new day, so there's probably a lot more. I don't have a problem with that person. I don't agree with the lifestyle, but there's in no way would I wish any kind of harm on them. I would hope that they would find either help that they may need, or I would hope that they would find God and see the truth and say, you know what, you're right, this lifestyle isn't for me. But I'm not going to hate anyone for doing that. It's your decision to make. But as a human being, I would still defend you, but not what I consider a sin lifestyle. And whoever may take offense to that, I'm sorry, but like I said, if I do not stand firm in my faith and tell you what I believe, then how are you going to ever respect any of the words that I say? Even if you debate them, how could you respect them? If I accommodated sin. GW, what are you talking about? I have to catch up on the chat. Hold on. Is somebody asking you a question directly, or who are you arguing with? Well, why are you insufferable? Why is he telling you that? Freaking Old Glory. It's mean, but it's funny. I mean, look at the humor in that, you know? But honestly, I want to know why. So, is it your profession? I'm asking because I'm curious. Because if it is, as a Christian, how could you do that, being a Christian? Because if you were a Christian, you would know that it's not the proper way to act as a Christian. As a matter of fact, it's if you're promoting any kind of anything that's pornographic, it's a sin. But all Christians make sin. You know, they sin, and then we stumble as Christians, and then we ask for forgiveness. We move on. It doesn't mean we keep doing what we're doing. It just means that we know in our heart we had sinned, and we ask for forgiveness, and then it's washed away if you mean it. But I'm trying to see how you put the two together. How you say, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to promote pornography in a sense. I don't know if it's exactly that you're doing, and I'm not saying you are. But flaunting your body, what do you do it for? Okay, but are you with a father of all of these children? Simon, be nice. I'm trying to get the information here. Okay, so you flaunt your body, you get a bunch of kids, but you're Christian. People make mistakes, but if you're continuing to do that, you gotta think of the child. Think of the children that you have, and the one on the way. Will they know their fathers? And if you flaunting your body takes that from them, how does it make you feel? Knowing that they won't know how to grow up to be men if they're boys and ladies if they're women because of your actions. You're showing them how to act. So how in any of that equation is that good for the child? I'm not saying you're a bad mother. I'm just saying your actions are going to speak volumes to your children. And with no man around, how are they? Why would you take, especially a son? Why would you take a father away from him? Were these just like one-time encounters for pregnancies? Do you know these people? Are they going to have a part in the children's lives? That kind of thing. I mean, I don't want to get too personal if you don't want to answer the question. That's totally fine. But I'm genuinely curious. Okay. So you're abused as a child. Your output is sleeping around and bringing in more children. Are those children in any danger? I'm genuinely asking because if you grew up in an abusive household, you tend to mimic those beliefs. You tend to mimic those actions. Do you ever find yourself overreacting with your children if they do something bad? Do you see yourself projecting what happened to you on any of your children at any time in their lives? I'm not saying you do. I'm saying, do you project that same, you said you grew up being abused. And now you're acting out by flaunting your body. And in that, producing children. What do you think is going to happen in the future? What do you think is going to happen with them? What values do they have that you've taught them? I'm not ridiculing you. I'm genuinely asking. Because if your business is going to be flaunting your body, because I don't know what you do for work unless it's that, then what your actions are going to show them is a result of how you were treated. That's not going to help them in this world. And I'm genuinely trying to help here. Like, you don't need to flaunt yourself. I don't know what fulfillment you get from them. Unless it was the abusiveness that you went through was, you not being wanted, or your parent being hateful towards you because I don't know the whole story, obviously. You got put in a psych ward and got help. If you were in a psych ward, do you have custody of your children? Simon, I think that's something you're going to have to take up with your wife, not me. What? Huh?
Say hi to Cookie, your daughter.
So,
She's trying to get your attention, Morgan.
Oh, Cookie. I like the dab. That's cool. Hello, Cookie. So you let her sleep around. So you're intentionally marrying the person that's putting you in the friend zone? Doesn't make much sense. You think everyone should yeah, because you're not getting any out there getting it from other people. So you're like hoping somebody else is going to see this and go, this guy's got a good idea. Let's share our wife with him. He's not getting any. It's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault except yours that you're letting your wife be a damn phone booth. Freaking 10 cents, 15 minutes, at least back in my day. Emery! We're sorry we woke you, man. We are. What right? Why is it your right to start? If your wife is not... Okay, hold on a second. You either make a lot of money and she's not attracted to you, or she has a thought pattern that is in line with, how do I say this nicely? A harlot. I mean, you're her husband. How does that show you any respect whatsoever? Or do you not care about respect as a man from a woman? Because there's a lot of feminists out there right now who are going to jump my shit right now when I say, man, women, if you are not respecting your men in that fashion, you are going to lose them. And then who's going to buy your freaking double, triple non-fat mocha latte with soy milk? And pay for all your car? Because there's a shit ton of gold diggers out there that do the same kind of shit. They want you for your money. They want you for your security, and then they want to go do whatever they want with your money, including being with other men. I'm sorry, that's called a whore. So, without insulting you personally, I would reassess your situation with your wife. And probably consult an attorney. Doing good, Emery. How are you doing? What do I think about Jehovah's Witnesses? I think there's a reel out there that was pretty convincing to me. And it was the British man let them in the front door and asked them to wait in the kitchen. But the kitchen door was basically right in front of a cliff. I don't particularly have a problem with them, to be honest with you. It's just, I don't believe in what they believe in. You know, they have some strange viewpoints, and I have a husky that's part coyote, so they don't even come near the house anymore. It's kind of great. You want me to pan around the shop, Ian? All right. What do you want to see first? It's like, I don't know. Pan around the shop. All right. Oh, you're a tool fiend. Okay. Well, not a lot of visible tools, but I'll give you the rundown here. Hold on, I gotta unplug my phone, so it's gonna get mad at me and tell me it wasn't finished.
I wasn't finished.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so first off, we have the black pearl that I'm doing. That's taking a long time. We have the mycelium grow tent, which is currently set at a specific humidity. We have the MP-CNC, which is my 3D printed 3-axis CNC machine, which I'll be using for my mold parts. We have an Ender 3. That's the Smithsonian corner, because I have a Bamboo Lab X1 carbon in the house. We also have a 340 millimeter EDF, and I've already spun this up a couple times on video. It is brutally cool. We also have the 90 millimeter water landing jet, which I'm still building. I had to move it over here because I was running out of room. But we also have the 170 millimeter EDF, which is also pushed by the same 7070 flip sky motor as that one is. Except this one's pushed with a 4-to-1 gear ratio for a grand total of 25 to 28,000 RPMs. Haven't really measured the max RPM on this one yet, but I can tell you it moves some air, because the last time I ran it, and I'll do the video, I just got everything off the GoPro yesterday. I put like shoes and stuff up here, and just running a 22 volt battery on this EDF put out enough force to knock everything off the table. It's a 75 volt motor that I'm pushing. The next push I'm going to be doing is two 10,000 milliamp 120C discharge rated Z LiPo batteries. That's going to give me 20,000 milliamps of runtime at 48 volts. And this thing, I hadn't even peaked the amps out on. I think the highest I got was 35, 40 amps. And the max amps on the RPM, or the max amps on the motor, is 100. So not only was I pushing it way under the amps, I was producing so much thrust that stuff was just getting blown all over the place in the shop. And I can't wait to run those 120C batteries with 20,000 milliamps and see how long it runs, because this is a big boy right here. And this is what I am building 4 of, so I can make one of the biggest, most badass drones that you have ever seen. An EDF drone with 4 340 millimeter EDFs. And 8, count them, because it's 2 per engine, 8 10,000 milliamp packs for a total of 48 volts and 20,000 milliamps of runtime per engine. And a ton of Arduino lights, because I plan on making this a UFO sighting, guaranteed, because the whole thing is going to be reprinted, the entire drone, is going to be about 4.5 by 4.5 feet. The whole thing is going to be clear PETG. This is PETG. But the whole system is going to be clear PETG and jammed with like 1,000 Arduino lights. NeoPixels. We're going to start doing some crazy crap up there. And people are going to be like, I'm telling you, people are going to be holding their phones up. What's that in the sky? What's that in the sky? Are you getting this? The news will get it. I guarantee it. That's what I'm going for. So, other than that, what else? Got to clean up over here a little bit, but I am learning piano. That's not a tool. Dill drone is still being repaired. And this is an oldie that I found that I'm going to rebuild. That's going to be fun. I'm also building a Cutlass Black from Star Citizen that will fly using a couple of these for weight mitigation and turbojet motors for the articulating the cells at the rear. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of cool stuff. This is my other axis for the machine. That's Stubby Fan version 1. Rest in peace, Stubby. There's another version, front drive, right there. This is my beautiful 90mm EDF. That's going to be a fun one to fly. Or crash. Either way, it's going to be fun. So, yeah. And don't forget to get bitter coffee for bitter people from Breakfast in Bread. The link is in my bio. I don't know if the site is back up yet. CJ will let me know. But if that link doesn't work, make sure if you want this coffee that you use the link that he gives me and you get a discount at checkout. That being said, we're going back over here. I'll plug this back in, so watch what's going to happen. Now I'm going to lose the screen for a second. All right, there we go. Let me try and catch up on the convo here. So, Ian, I hope that was a good walk around for you. You're proud to flaunt yourself, yet you're Christian, which does mean it is forgivable if your intent in the heart is to be forgiven. So that's something you can get away from. All right, WDL is, oh. Well, oh glory, I get what you're trying to say, but I also am saying that I try to make this a platform for everyone to speak. And I don't want to be unfair to anyone, but at the same time, I would like to offer up my advice. As it said on my other shirt, everyone is entitled to my opinion. You don't have to follow my advice, but if your lifestyle is what you say it is and you're a Christian, go back to your Bible and think about what you're doing and how it's going to affect your children. Simon, I love you too, oh glory. Okay, Simon Wood, my wife's pregnant, not sure if it's mine, of course. How could you be sure? But it is what it is. I wish she does stay grounded with me. I joke about this, but honestly it hurt. Dude, that's what I was trying to tell you. It's like, why? Of course it's gonna hurt. I mean, what if that baby comes into this world and it's not yours? You're obviously gonna care for your wife and the baby regardless, just because you love her so much. But yeah, of course it's gonna hurt. She shouldn't be acting that way. My wife doesn't act that way. I get treated like a king. You know why? Because I respect her, I cherish her, I love her. We study the Bible together. We have a wonderful family. I'm home with my family all the time. I couldn't ask for a better blessing because I'm on VA benefits. Can't really work. So I do what I can in the shop, until my back or my knee goes out, and then I go lay down and cry. I'm kidding. No. Sometimes I'll have a burst disc that bulges out, or my knee will act up, or I'll just be walking through the house and my knee will stop working, and then my leg stops working, and I fall. The place is gonna blow. Hold on. No, actually, I don't have to mess with it. That's just a battery charger. You're not a Chuck? No. Not sure I understand that reference. Oh, a cuck? I don't understand what that is. Horsepower coffee. Oh yeah. Old Glory. Always got it. Are you talking to me? Why, I'm never out of weed. It's because I can barely smoke any of it. And it does the same job it does to everybody else who smokes like 4 or 5 joints. Like, if I smoked like some other people smoke, I'd be in a straight up coma. I'd take like little tiny hit. Well, you guys are tempting me right now. Don't look. Okay. See, I don't mean very much. Just a tiny little bit. Takes care of the back pain. Sitting in this chair for a while hurts, trust me. It's like one of those lawn chairs, that's got the webbing on it. And I'm 6'4", and 290. I've got a big bone structure. So I sit down in this chair, my hips hit the arms of the chair and force my grapes down, and the first thing they hit is that damn support bar right at the front. So every time I sit down in this chair the wrong way, it's like getting kicked in the nuts. Time to invest in a better shop chair. I don't trust the vape. I'll tell you that. I don't like the vape. I'm straight up, flour. Order a recliner or something. Move something from the living room. Actually, that's what I know. What I need, as you saw the thumbnail, right? I should have that throne made. I just set it like right here. And then I'll have the YouTube staff and everything made. I'll just like 3D print it all. Crown, the whole 9 yards. Paint the whole thing. I'll do the whole set. That way when we're troll hunting, I'm ready. You prefer flour, but you're 400,000 in debt. No flour until I get some stuff paid off. I wish I had just a portion of that kind of money to be that much in debt. Dude, check this out. Okay. Everyone's like, why do you have so much faith in God? It's like, because I pray to God all the time for the things that I need. I live in California. Okay? The armpit of California, but I live in the armpit of California, okay? Next to Gold Country, down where the farmlands are. I live on $1,800 a month. That's it. Family of 5. Pay all the bills. Rent, phones, electricity, internet, garbage, water, buy food, everything else. And every time I get to a point where I struggle and I think, well, I've got to pay this, but I can't, something happens, and the money comes in. And it's because I have faith that God will take care of me if it's in His will for me to have this done. And obviously, you know, electricity is a big deal. So I take what little I have left after I'm done, and I put it towards all of this. Which is why I put up the Patreon and the GoFundMe, not the GoFundMe, I'm sorry, the Go Buy Me a Coffee link. And that's so people, if they like what they see, if they like what I'm doing, they can contribute. I'm getting close to my watch hour mark, so you guys can eventually do memberships if you like what I'm doing, if you like the chats, if you like all the content, if you like just the fun we have while we're here. You can do the memberships. That'll also help support me. That'll also give me the more equipment, more motors, more supplies. It all goes back into this stuff for you guys. So even if it's going back into people who aren't interested in the hobby per se, but they like the chats. You know, I could build the throne set for that. You know, just have some fun, right? That'd be kind of cool. 3D print the whole thing, right? Like do the body of the chair, but all the accoutrement in the picture. Just like 3D print it all out of the gold filament. Oh, that'd be fun. I'm telling you, I'd do that. If I had the extra filament, if I had all the money and the filament for that, I'd be on it already. Flour with tobacco? How is that? Because I noticed, like, when I smoke flour, that if I take a hit of tobacco afterwards, then like, whew, it like kind of hits you a little bit, you know, you're a little dizzy. No, not the Game of Thrones one, but I will if that's one of the requests. The idea is that I have a place to sit while I'm doing these vertical lives where we sit and talk and we just relax and have fun and just, you know, if the trolls come in, try to bring them in and make them part of the family, okay? I want a troll army. Congratulations, GW. I can't imagine why. Cooper, how are you? Welcome. A spleef is a joint with. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I gotcha. Congratulations, GW. No matter how many men you say you've slept with, I think the Kardashians have you beat. Oh, wait. Or was that ruin men's lives? I get those mixed up sometimes. Yeah, how did the Kardashians get famous in the first place? Like, one day they were there, and then the guy from the Wheaties box ended up being a chick, and then all of a sudden they have a Netflix special, and I'd never even heard of who the hell they were. And they're like, that's the Kardashians. Like, they're famous. I'm like, for what? Where not to put implants? I mean, that stuff is just too damn funny to me. It's hilarious. Like, you guys all seen that reel where they have the Mona Lisa, and then the Mona Lisa of 2025, and it's all puffed up lips and all the freaking cheek implants and everything like that. I mean, I remember watching movies with Ellen Page, man. She, when she was young, she was cute in her films and stuff like that. And she went and messed it all up, man. Why? I mean, what in the world? You know she regrets that shit. You know it. I feel sorry for her so much. I do. Because to be accepted by the community in which she had indoctrinated herself, being Hollywood. She had to destroy who she was. Who she was wasn't good enough for everybody else until she was convinced it wasn't good enough for her either, and then she ruined who she was. It's a very sad story. It's a very sad story. Because she was good in movies, you know, and then all of a sudden, like over the span of a year, the clown show started, you know, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, I can do whatever I want with my body. It's like, great. Try bungee jumping with yarn. It's just funny to me. It just, I don't get it. Why do all that stuff? Just for what? So that people on social media like you? It's ridiculous. You might lose a fan if you don't. Oh, you don't want to get canceled. You heard the whole go woke, go broke thing. And Disney jumps on board, jumps on it like a bitch in heat. And it's like, come on, Disney. You got Samuel L. Jackson and Snow White. I mean, what the hell? Get with the program already. No, it's starting to fall off though. Things are starting to slowly go back to normal. You know how these things happen. The infection starts, it grows, then you get an antibiotic. It starts to slowly go away. And eventually there's just no memory of it. Like them painting over the, all of the paintings of Kamala on the sides of buildings and tearing down the George Floyd Memorial and all that other stuff. You ever notice that? Yeah, it was so important you weren't out protesting them tearing that down or removing his statue. So important that you burned down cities and killed people and robbed stores, all in the name of something you didn't even know, all because it was made convenient enough for you to do so. Everyone needs to eat, AOC says. They need. I'm not going to get mad at them for wanting to steal a loaf of bread. Well, all of their loaves of bread had the Nike swoosh. And I guarantee you, one of those loaves of bread had a high definition screen. I mean, let's be realistic at what was really going on. Let's really. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a problem. All right. So, now, I don't like having to do that, but eventually it gets to the point where it's troll. We are troll hunting. We found that one. That means you're in the troll collection box. Congratulations. But is anybody else kind of confused at what happened? Like the whole, it's like, during that whole period where the woke thing started, it seemed like it all coincided with COVID and everything else, and I was like, what is going on here? Like you look at the news, like I try to stay away from the news, because I'm working on my computer, right? And I don't quite understand why all of it just happened like overnight, over the period of a prior administration. The irony, right? So all this stuff's happening, and I don't quite understand why anyone would just demolish their own body. I still need answers on the Kardashians. I don't know how they became famous. Okay, I don't. If all it took was the implants, I'll go get 2 beach balls and put them under my shirt. I'll have 1 million subs by tomorrow. But I just, please, going back to the point, I kind of got off the point. ADHD brain, flowers kind of hitting. So, why are the Kardashians famous? I'll wait. Anyone know why the Kardashians are famous at all? I blocked her on my end. I don't want to. I don't care. I think it took all the comments out that I blocked. So. If she's saying anything about my wife, I mean, that's like, if she's, is everything okay? Did GW calm down? Is she gone? Where did Krista pop into? I didn't see it. There's something wrong with my chat, obviously. Well, let me close it and open it back up. Because I can't see anything. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, wow. That's cool. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I didn't want to have to jump through the screen, strangle a bitch. Anyway, my point was, where was I at? The Kardashians. I still need to know who they are. How did they become famous? Because like one day they weren't there and we had the guy on the Wheaties box. And it was a guy. Still is a guy. We had him on the Wheaties box. There were no Kardashians. Then the Kardashians came in and the guy's like, screw it, I want to be a female. And I'm in total shock because I remember as a kid, you know, eating cereal at the table, like reading the back of the box, look at the front. And there he is. The man.
Read your comments.
What?
Read all the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read all the comments. That's right, I do. Hold on, sorry. Okay, horsepower copies. Right, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I'm trying not to get distracted, but if I don't look at the screen, I can't get to the chats, and then if I want to talk, I have to look at the thing. So it's like I'm trying. I'm sorry. Rick passed away from Paw Stars. That sucks. God's like, best I can do is 60. Is that too soon? Let's see. I'm trying. Okay, I got you. I'm reading the comments. Krista. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll do all that. It's just I'm literally watching this from my account, from the phone, so I'm on the same delay as you are from, like, say you ask a question and then I finally see it and then I respond and the response is delayed. I'm trying to get all that worked out. I don't know why it does that. So I can save it. Okay, gotcha. Hi again, horsepower. Is everybody else still seeing GW on the chat? Because I'm not. And it's much quieter. It really is. Much more enjoyable, you know? It's like the Karen getting dragged down to the McDonald's. Yeah. All of a sudden it's quiet. Totally silent. Even my tinnitus is happy. TR3B? No, right now I'm making a drone. So that's what the main 340 millimeter motor is. I could do a TR3B with it, make it a tricopter. That's a good idea, actually. That would save me on a motor, an ESC, a lot of power distribution. Wait, we could do a TR3B, a big one, with lights, and put it up there in the sky. That hit the news. Oh, whoever made that suggestion right now, email me. We are totally collabing on this.
Can I see the tablet for a second? You keep talking.
Yeah, I'm not seeing whatever's going. Can you help me fix it? It's because this one's on my. It should be the same count. I don't know why I can't see it. Okay, I don't have the tablet right now, so I don't know what any of you are saying. My wife is trying to fix it for me. You think with all the electronics I know about, I could figure that. This is what happens with ADHD. This is exactly what happens. I can do all this, but the freaking tablet or the chat, that just drives me up a damn wall. I'll go to bed just thinking about how this design's gonna go. But yeah, something screws up in chat and I can't figure it out. I don't know. I think it's because I'm not watching it on YouTube Studio on there. I'm watching it from YouTube. Okay, you can open up my YouTube Studio on my computer right now. We're figuring this out. Then you can sit there and watch it and
No,
mod.
I can just be a moderator, but okay, I'll try.
If you go onto my page right now, hold on everyone. I'm losing myself about how I haven't set up properly. Just go on mine and it goes to content lives. Click on the one, you'll see the little dot with the little parentheses around it. You click that and it's going to take you into it live so you can see the chat and do all the other stuff. So it's going to be a dot with little parentheses around it. Alright, you're good to go. And then I think she'll be chatting as me in there. So we'll see how that works. Or she'll still chat with her chat. So, hello, Venice. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Okay. Who's talking to... Okay, hold on. My wife will clarify the chat for me because she'll be able to see it. And I am way behind on the chat right now. I'm still thinking about the TR3B. Yeah, we're working on that right now, Lori. I'm getting it started. I think she's able to get on there and handle it. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm like trying to get my points and stuff across, but I can't because I have to glance down and then ADHD all of a sudden we're on another subject. Work, damn you. Stupid fan. So yeah, my wife's in there and she's handling it now, and we'll continue talking about stuff because it's fun. Darn it. But yes, we are definitely doing a big drone with this. We want a DPC inspired UFO sighting to pop up on the news. Do we not? Who is up for that? I'm thinking TR3B is probably the best candidate because that's going to be the easiest to build, and it's going to be lighter, and if we put like lights around the side and stuff like that, I can diffuse it through the PETG from a distance. All they're going to see is the on the bottom, and the lights all the way around the triangular body, and then I'm just going to take off, like it's going to lean forward, just because you got tons and tons of power on that thing, tons. 340 millimeter engines pushing well over 6,000 RPMs each. 22 blade high pass configuration. It's gonna be a thrust to weight ratio of like 3 or even 4 to 1. This thing's gonna be able to scoot. I can't see anything the GW is saying. Everyone's like honor. I feel so innocent now. You guys taking care of the situation? Professor O. Come on now. It's a rake. It's like literally a rake leaning against a two-tone wall. Nobody else can see that? I wonder how many people you got with that, old Lori. It goes to show you where their minds go. Like immediately. Professor O. That's kind of disturbing. Did you meet your wife on Ancestry? Have you answered about time constructs in the second figure? No. God made time. He's just not bound by it. And you can only perceive this time. So, yeah, don't even get me started on that one. The narrow vision of most people is like, if they think, let me guess, you think the earth is flat. Time is not man-made. It's measured by man in the way that we have decided to measure it. But no, everything is made by God, including the time in which he is not bound. So that kind of tells you about why he's omnipotent. Omnipresent. You can be anywhere at any time, all at the same time with every single person. Or at every single point in the entire universe that he has created, all at the same exact moment. That's what it means. Yay! She's been muted? Cool. One year is, one day is like a thing. I understand what you mean. I understand the reference as well. That's from the Bible. The reason why he said, no man shall live but one of my days, and everybody associated the longest living human as about 960 years of Methuselah, they assumed God meant 1,000 years. It said, "No man shall live but one of my days," was an infinite statement. It meant that no man will ever live as long as God on this earth. And that's not 1,000 years. That's an immeasurable part of time, is what it means. So it was more of a him telling you about his power and the fact that he is not bound by time. Everything's held together by his will. It was all breathed into existence by his very word. And then, people go, "Oh no, aliens must have done it," or the Big Bang, or something else. And I'm like, well, here's something for you to chew on. All the people who believe in the fact that the Earth is as old as we perceive it to be. Technically, it is as old as we perceive it to be, 4.5 billion years. But that's not the point. The point is, when man was made on Earth, it was well after creation was finished. We were the last things that were created. And it was the very first time that a human consciousness could experience relative time the way we were designed to. So that's when we were able to start perceiving time. So how do you know how fast or how slow all of the time that it took, according to our perception of it, that it would have taken to create the entire universe, which would appear to be 4.5 billion years or so, somewhere around there, probably more. But you didn't know, there was no one here to perceive that passage of time, except God, who isn't bound by time, so it's instantaneous. And then man was created and now has to live inside the confines of the time he's given. And we can only perceive it at one relative rate everywhere, unless you're in another gravitational influence. But that's theoretical because we haven't been that far out yet. Elon Tusk, how are you doing, man? If I missed you coming in, how are you doing? I do agree with that. If he was up with GW, then I agree that he needs some better role models. So, anything else anyone would like to talk about? Up and coming projects? Not like you wanted to be GW? Man, I missed a lot. VTOL project, I like that. That's a good idea. The Javelin was a type of VTOL system. It was capable of carrying its weight with the 70 mils, but it just felt like I was almost at the top end, and I don't think it would have had much more in stabilization mode. But if you see the Javelin playlist on my page, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I didn't rotate the engines in the VTOL. I rotated the flight controller so that the entire body would rotate around the flight controller in order to orient the body so it could take off as a tail sitter. The engines could stay in place, and then once you go out of VTOL mode and rotate into forward flight mode, you open up a whole lot more power because there's thrust limiting on basically a standard stabilized VTOL mode, and that's because it has to have room for compensation on each of the EDFs So that was one of the reasons why 90 millimeter would have been better, I think. But ultimately 70 could have worked. Yeah, I look up. You look up to. You look up to farting. Not sure how to interpret that. Considering the current projects, have you thought about 3D printing an A10? Oh, absolutely. I actually started on it at one point. As a matter of fact, this is when I was experimenting with the Aero PLA from Bamboo Lab. I kind of beat the crap out of it for testing, but because I plan on reprinting it. But this is the PLA Aero A10 gondola, and the PLA Aero from Bamboo Lab's pretty good. And I have the rest of this somewhere. There's a lot more of the A10 that's already done. But the ASA Aero is what you want to stay away from. That stuff doesn't work. But the PLA Aero works good. It does work good for thin wall prints, but it's as weak as you would expect, sort of like once it starts to crack. The PLA Aero definitively came out much thicker than the ASA Aero in its foaming capabilities, because the ASA Aero was more like tissue paper on thin wall models. So the PLA Aero is actually the best way to go. So if you're going to use anything, use PLA Aero. If you're doing it on a Bamboo Lab printer, I would go with PLA Aero. I haven't used any more foaming PLA products yet, and that's just because I haven't finished what I'm doing with the EDFs yet. And then I'm going to do the entire A10 again, but in the PLA Aero. Because I have a PETG carbon fiber version that's going to require some more powerful engines for some better lift. But I think that the PETG carbon fiber will be fairly rigid, and I think you'll get more speed out of the craft because it'll be able to handle more of that forward momentum, that cutting through the wind. As where I think that the PLA Aero is going to be fairly thin, so you're going to be limited on speed. So I think hopping up those motors a little bit, maybe bringing the model into Fusion and setting it up for 90s instead of 70s, or even more, and then doing it all out of a PETG carbon fiber. That makes it very rigid, and you don't have to do it. You can do gyroidal infill. Actually, I'm sorry. You can do it's a single line print. So for the PETG carbon fiber, it comes out beautiful because the layer lines are almost non-existent. So it'll make for a beautiful A10, especially if you get it in a either a PETG carbon fiber, which almost resembles flat in a sense, or just a standard flat matte PLA in the colors, like the A10 colors, like FDE color, and then get the decal sheets, print them out. I think it'll make a beautiful A10. And the dog shut off the lights on me. So, can everyone still see me? The dog has shut off lights.
Oh, did he turn it off?
Yes. Thank you, Colt. Would you like to go outside? Is that why you turned the light off on me? Alright, I gotta let the husky out. Hold on a second. This way, let's go. Okay. I'm using ColorFab.lw ASA. But is that just straight ASA? Okay, you're talking about the foaming ASA. PLA Aero is something you get from Bamboo Lab. It's a lightweight printing material that foams as you print it. So when you're doing single wall prints or even double, triple wall prints of any of your models, you're actually getting a decent model, but at half the weight in a sense. It's for aircraft mainly. But ASA is something that I haven't been, at least with Bamboo Studio or Bamboo Labs ASA, I didn't have luck with on any of the presets. So if ColorFab does good with ASA, I might give that a shot. But I don't know if it's going to act the same way out of the X1 Carbon as their that Bamboo Labs version of it. Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of the foaming stuff from Bamboo Lab. And between the ASA and the PLA, I would choose the PLA for an aircraft before the ASA because I couldn't get the ASA presets to actually function properly. I got close, but they came out so paper thin on the body that when you're doing like 3D lab print style planes where it's single wall print, you couldn't get it to work properly, and it would continue to drizzle and drool, and just you couldn't stop it. It would just literally spaghettify like the whole print. Yeah, the X1 Carbon does pretty good at keeping the heat in. About 43 is what I get up to. Like if I'm printing with ASA or nylon or something like that, I can get the chamber up to about 43. I forget if the X1 Carbon is heated in the chamber, like independently. But it may not be. That's why I want to try the H2D printer and see if that one's any better than the X1 Carbon. But I don't have that kind of money lying around quite yet. I have to wait for all my loving subscribers to buy me 1,000 coffees on the Buy Me a Coffee link, and then I'll pick up an H2D, and we'll get that thing going and see what we can get done with it. Oh, glory. Well, I mean, you like jets, right? Like Old Glory? So, if you can imagine, I'm building a jet engine that's 16 inches in diameter on a 3D printer. Actually, not diameter. My apologies. That'd be 32 inches in diameter. So yeah, that's what I'm getting into. Ooh, get a liquid resin 3D printer for that. That would be perfect. You want that detail. You can get pretty cheap, like any cubic, small resin printers to start out with that are perfect for chess pieces and small pieces like that. And then, you know, you could do the woodworking for the board, and then just print out all your pieces, choose your materials, stuff like that. Get like a black and a white resin, and just make some really cool pieces and print them out. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'd want to see it too after you're done painting them. So I would get like a standard gray model resin. That would usually be what you'd be looking for. But yeah, check out Anycubic. They make some decent, inexpensive resin 3D printers, especially if you're doing small pieces. And you can kind of get into it that way. Well, I mean, you could, if you don't have anyone to play, you know, if you don't know, if you don't have, I'll play chess with you. We'll do it online. We'll do like a live thing where you got a camera up on the board, and then I'll join the live, and then we'll play chess. I'll tell you what moves to make for me. Or yeah, play against AI. Just let AI, you know, see the board somehow through your camera or whatnot, and then just give me an idea. What if we make a 3D printed chessboard that has sensors on it, and sensors in each one of the pieces to define what they are, that you can plug into your computer that AI will recognize, and then when you start the game, it knows what pieces are moved by the magnetism of the pieces on the board, and then you could literally play chess with the AI based on what it reads off the board. From, you know, and then when you move its piece for it, then I just made that'd be a cool product. Don't tell me there's something like that. I thought of it first on accident. Come on, you want to go inside? Hold on, I gotta shut the door. And where was I? Yes. I thought of it first. There might actually be something like that. I'm sure somebody's thought of it, but I wouldn't mind making something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Ooh, what's your invention? I'm anxious to hear old Glory's invention. I swear if he said a porcelain bowl that discards human feces, I'm gonna kick him. Oh. Why not just make the remote glow in the dark buttons? It's not a bad idea, no. I was gonna make something for kids at school, you know, to save their backpacks from being stolen, you know, by older people or like in high school. Like if you set your backpack down and arm it, and somebody picks it up to run with it, and you haven't disarmed it, that it starts screaming Allah Akbar, and while you're running with it, you know, with an embedded loudspeaker. I think that would be both entertaining and secure for your backpack. Voice activated remote. That's what you should do. It responds to, where the f is the remote? Then it goes, blink, 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 over here. clapper. The clapper was so useful. My wife and I used to have the clapper, but every time we go for our talks, it looked like there was a strobe light going off in the bedroom. At least I know how long the delay is now. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, do the laughy faces if you thought that was funny. Why can't I see myself on this stupid... There I am. Wait, I can't... Okay. Oh, there we go. That was too funny. I figured it was the best way to figure out delay time between me talking and you hearing it. The visuals in my head. People think there's a rave going on. So did we lose all the trolls? We scared them off. Move into another visual. I'll move on to another visual. Sorry, it just, you know, had to be said. Move on to another visual. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. What visual can I provide for you? Bathroom counters are cool. As men, you think we would have designed stirrups into bathroom counters. I'm getting this side eye from the wife.
Glory offered a topic, so let him take the topic.
I'm supposed to let Glory take the topic? Okay. It's yours, Glory. What's the topic? Strike up a conversation topic. Otherwise, I'm going to start designing countertops with stirrups. The socioeconomic impact of West Indies on indigenous race and surrounding nations, and go. I don't care. Colt, you don't want out again. What are you doing? The beeper? Hold on. Let me see. A truly malicious part of the beeper that is glued to the battery underneath and no way to turn it off. Oh, that's messed up. Hello, Iran. Welcome. Welcome, Iran. I hope you're good, Iran. Not bad, Iran. Good Iran equals peace and happiness. Bad Iran equals B-2 bombers. Hold on, I have to let the dog out again. Come on, let's go. You want to go in the house or outside? It's starting to tick me on. Yes, Cookie. I said hello, Iran. Because he came in the chat. Said hello from Iran. I say hi to everybody if I see you guys in the chat. Speaking on dogs. My blind, crippled 18-year-old Shih Tzu is getting much better in his wheels. You have a blind, crippled 18-year-old Shih Tzu? Wow. Is he dead at 18? I mean, is it remote control at this point? Is it just a pair of wheels and a dog skeleton and 2 front legs? In what way? In what way is Iran good as America? Just curious. I assume they figured it out. You know what's funny? There must be something wrong with me. Because from the moment I saw that image, I knew it was a rake. And I couldn't figure out why it was a rake or a broom because of how small it was in the picture. I was like, why does he have a picture of a broom? I couldn't figure it out. So I didn't even see the joke from the beginning. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I thought it was from the beginning, was a broom. What does it say about me? Then you need to stay off the internet, Cookie. Or at least give it a rest. Oh, it means I perceive things directly. Trivia, elaborate. I'm curious. I perceive things directly in the sense that I see them for what they are and not what people may perceive them to be, or I don't know. I'm just psychoanalyzing myself. Yeah, I understood what it was meant to be, what it was meant to be perceived as, but I knew what it was. Yeah. And then when my wife came to me and said, "That's a broom against the wall," I'm like, "Yeah." They did one, I think, before with a one of those corner lamps, like with the black stem and everything. Same type of picture. Riley Holmes. Riley. Uncle Ben. Who's Uncle Ben? Oh, interesting definition. Really cold. Just gotta push the door open like a boss, huh? Be right back. Go on. Sorry. Yeah, and didn't they remove that from the packages when the world had started losing its shit? My opinion on French and France. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, in regards to what? That's a pretty broad question. I think back in the, I don't know what year, Ancestry said Queen Philippa was related to me. Cicely Neville, I think, was Queen. Wasn't she Queen of France as well? And she's my grandmother, so France belongs to me. England belongs to me too. So does Ireland and Scotland, and Denmark, and Basque. They're all mine. Staining wood? Why is staining wood horsepower? Oh, she's still doing the coffee mobile thing? Is that what you're talking about? Is it possible to be in balance between both state, often called the zone? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that question, other than it sounds like the stains fumes are affecting you slightly. Like coffee and stain fumes under the zone. Why? Because everything is a different color. I can hear sunlight. I want to see it too, though, in all seriousness. And you're making like the coffee delivery mobile. You're gonna have to make a trip all the way here to make coffee. It's a request of DPC. How many states of perception do you have? Serious question. I guess I can answer that. Trivia. So, my physical perception of the world and awareness of the one around me that isn't seen. The perception of my future through my creations and my designs. I perceive the universe probably differently than most. I want to understand the stars. I want to understand the galaxies. I want to understand the distance. I want to try to be able to explain the unfathomable distance between galaxies themselves, not just the distance across of the Milky Way. This is like 150 million light years. That stars are made of hydrogen, and the reason why that they burn so brightly is because of a nuclear reaction that's happening due to the mass of the hydrogen pressing on it and causing constant nuclear reaction, producing different elements like helium, and then becoming a red giant because of it after burning up its power supply and floating and turning us. Am I boring anyone yet? Okay, I'll stop. That would be the point where my wife is like, stop it. I'm trying to sleep. Because I go through this stuff, right? Like when we're going to go to bed, you know? Go to bed. Get ready to go to sleep. And I'm dissecting the universe. I'm serious. I can't sleep without a physics book of some kind in my ear, or books about theoretical time travel and just understanding quantum entanglement and things like that. And it's it all started when, you know, because I had to deal with tinnitus so much, so I just put a book in my ear at night. Every night. I'm not listening to the Bible. I'm listening to quantum physics. I'm listening to Stephen Hawking, Einstein, James Glick. He did pretty good with the time machine. it's just what I do. And then while I'm listening to the book, I'm going over my designs, going over the results of spin-ups, going over future designs, using what I've created so far to design an end product that's in my brain. I have several end products in my brain that I have to get catted out on Fusion and created, and then create them and make them work. And that was where the Shrike drone came into play, creating an EDF drone. And then Javelin. And it's all constantly here, all the time. I'll have to look that one up. Maybe I can find it on Audible. Don't be surprised if the dog shuts the light off again. I hear him scratching at the door again. Can't make up his mind. Mason, you said hi. How you doing? How's everything going? It's gonna storm. You lucky guy. Or gal, or something. I don't know. Well, the point is, I just love creating things to the point where my mind never stops in doing it. And sometimes when I intentionally unplug, I go straight blank and think on one thing, and it kind of helps calm all that's going on in my brain. And just think of one solitary thing, imagine it, and try to create my own relaxation in my head from all the other stuff that's begging me to create it and think about it and calculate it and measure it and test it and everything else. It's insane. And so that's why I do what I do. That's why I create what I create. That's why I will design something and create it based on physical observation of its function without any practical application testing before printing. And then you get stuff like the 340 millimeter fan, which is working beautifully, I might add. It puts out phenomenal thrust, and with the better battery packs I have coming in, it's going to put out even more. And I have to build a test rig. So I'm working with a company that wants to sponsor me in that. And I sent them the list of the order that I needed to create the aluminum extruded slider cage for that engine, so that it could carry its batteries, carry its weight, and it'll be anchored to the floor, and it will be on rollers so that I can test the actual lift by the throttle position and test that with the weight of its batteries and its ESC and all of its control modules, everything, plus a little extra weight to balance out the system, so that we can ensure that it's capable of lifting the drone and creating a sustained hover at a specific throttle position. So that's how I do things. It's fun that way. That's how I build things. And I enjoy it. I love doing it that way. So, the next thing you'll see with the 340 is you'll see it spin up with the two 10,000 milliamp 120C batteries, which is going to be quick. Since this hasn't been CNC'd, I do expect a failure at one point. But if I get to full throttle with two 120C batteries, 48 volts, and the fan survives, then we're good. We're good to move forward to stage 2. And that's the body construction. So, and then of course the construction of 3 more engines. So, yes. That's how I do things. And I'll be thinking of that. I had to refresh the chat again. Yeah, probably Riley. Oh, good Lord. What's wrong with you now, Riley? You're going schizophrenic, huh? Oh. Funny thing is, a schizophrenic wouldn't know that. You're not going schizophrenic. You want us to acknowledge that you've said that. That's been done. Move on. So you guys, I hope everyone's interested in what's been going on, what I've been talking about. Some people won't be, some people will be. Nobody's really suggesting any other topics other than that, so that's what I'm defaulting on, are my creations, so on and so forth. What was that? Did you hear something hit the house? Darling? Riley. What kind of questions are these? Come on now. I figured as much. Good Lord. Hold on one second. Riley, keep things respectable or I'll show you the door. Here's that heck of the rock. Are you moderating? You might have to get rid of Riley. I have no idea. What? Who also? That's a good one. It's a very good point. Ugh. So you stayed. What was it you said you had? Oh, you're funny. You're very funny. So, backtracking the IP address for Riley, committing a crime, and we'll go ahead and forward that to the correct people. Okay. How many layers of the blades? I wish I could remember the count. You're talking about the print layers, the FDM print layers, or the how many blades? Is that what you're talking about? Moderator, dispose of Riley for me, please. So the filament lines, I think it was about. I'm trying to remember now because I think it was about. It was 0.2 millimeter layer height, and it took about an hour and 40 minutes per blade. I think about 340 layers, maybe. Solid infill for each individual blade. Let me just give you a closer look. How about that? And we'll listen to my phone tell me that she's not finished yet.
I wasn't finished.
All right, so I want to say about 340, roughly. And here's a much closer view. And from the side view, you can see all the way down to the blade is about, oh Lord, I forgot the dimensions, but about 340. Everything locks into the hub by friction alone. There's no glue whatsoever. So that's what it is. From this angle, you can see the blade pitch. You'll see how each one slid into each section. The stator down here, you know, underneath where everything's attached to. And then you see the motor down at the bottom. So, and I have a gearbox. Not a gearbox, but it's a direct drive. So I'm spinning it with my hand to kind of give you a little bit of a show. Stare into my fan. You will all do as I command. And subscribe and share with others. So yeah, there you go. One moment, please. No, back. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's better. Oh boy. He gone. And Skippy. Because, like the thumbnail looks, it shows in the thumbnail, Troll Hunter. You know what's interesting about that thumbnail? And I don't know if you can still look at it, but I never mentioned, even once, adding turbine blades to the throne. I just told it to put me in one and, you know, have the YouTube logo on it and that kind of stuff with the AI and use my picture and my likeness in the picture. And that's what it came up with. I never mentioned anything about turbines, yet there they are. That's what's freaky. You told us this once. Have you let the dog back in the house yet? Oh, that blade design was, sorry Philip. The blade design is from a Pratt & Whitney engine that was used in the SR-71 Blackbird. So I got as close as I could to the pitch as possible. And initially it was designed for a combustion section, but I took that out, and because the center blades don't push much air, it's more or less for pulling in air. A lot of the blade stresses at the tips, so that's what I wanted. And the reason for that is because if I want to, I can slap an impeller behind it on the stator, and I can suck in and compress that air, and then combust it if I want to use an afterburner in future, releases. But because I wanted to stick primarily with electric at this point, it was more about matching blade diameter with the torque of the engine, the ESCs, the voltage that it could put out, basically the watts. It's a 4,200 watt engine. It's 60 horsepower. It's a 70 flip sky. It runs up to 75 volts, but I keep it conservatively at 48, because what that does is it doesn't overamp it. I've never been over 50 amps with it, even close to full throttle, and it had sufficient lift and created no unnecessary stress on the electrical system. So that makes it good. So far, the pairing has been absolutely perfect. I am running the same engine in a 170 millimeter system, but it is running through a 4-to-1 gear ratio system. So you're not getting just 6,000 RPMs out of the fan due to the voltage. You are getting 28,000 RPMs. And it's a much smaller fan, so but it runs off of the exact same power system. It's just put through a 4-to-1 step-up gear ratio. Airfoils, I have designed a few. I've designed a very, very big long-range glider for something like that. But this one is going to be, the 340 is going to be for a drone. Probably one of the biggest drones you've ever seen, made out of an EDF high-pass turbine blade. So it's going to be interesting. And I am going to make something that is capable of forward flight with airfoils, but given the size of this, it's about making a retractable airfoil, so you can do it, you can tuck it in and then drop, go out, extend, and then basically fly forward. The airfoils are gimbaled, the engines tilt forward, and now that's your differential thrust. So your top and bottom engine is your pitch and roll and yaw. So in drone mode, it comes back to level flight, the wings retract, and now you're back to a drone control system. What are you talking about? We gotta get you a chat mic, huh? Actually, you could. I'm not sure which one to get, if I'm going to do with like vertical on an iPhone. But yeah, I do need a chat mic. I just don't know what to get. You can donate now. You can go straight to, there's a buy me a coffee link, and it's not really for coffee because I have coffee. It's actually just for donations. So if you go to the buy me a coffee link, you can donate whatever you want to donate. Again, I never obligate anyone to do any of this, but everything is appreciated, and I use it for the purposes of this. And since I'm filming most of the verticals like this on an iPhone, because I don't have another camera except the GoPro, and you can't really do it with a GoPro because they don't stay on long enough. I don't have a camera for these kind of lives, so you know, if I wanted to upgrade, so if I were to get a mic for an iPhone, it's a Pro 15. What would you get for it? Because I've seen people using mics with iPhones, but I never know which one to get. You know, they're always got something new out. I don't want to get duped into some Temu crap, you know. So I honestly wouldn't know what to get. Philip, the intake lips are going to be designed into the drone's body. What I'm basically creating is the fan casing right now and a stator casing, and then the motor mount. So that's what I'm testing. As a matter of fact, here's one of the sections of the intake lip right here. So yeah, I've already thought about all that. But incorporating it into my design, this is too long. So I have to kind of do some adjustments, and then I can get them basically, you know, to fit properly. And then I'll have the proper intake lip airfoil. So yeah, I've already thought about all that. You know, I don't get lucky enough to get good stuff from Temu, okay? I just don't. Okay, I'll be waiting for it. I do need one though, but I just don't. I assume they Bluetooth to the iPhone and you just use it that way and it's clipped onto you and so on and so forth. Yeah, but you gotta send me a coffee too. I'd appreciate it. Geezer. How you doing, Mark? Yes, Mark. I know it's you. I can see through all of your name changes. I'm sort of techie like that. If I wanted to, I could task a satellite over to your house. I know you think you're not, but, you know. Send coffee and put the mic in it. You know, it's a bag of some good coffee, and then I have to find the mic, and then drink the coffee, and then I'll be happy with that totally. Mark is a few different people. He takes on different personas, and then he jumps in my chat and thinks I don't know about it. I can see right through it, all the way to his IP address. Anyway, Geezer, how are you doing today? You're obviously back, so it is, isn't it? It's hilarious. But we're glad you're here, so join the fun. You came in with, without Elon, you would be boring. And I would say that has no relevance whatsoever. Okay, Mark, we get it. We got your attention. Mark didn't know how to spell either. He's funny, I'll give him that. Oh boy, he'll get him. Oh, it's 5:46. And doing pretty good. I hope everyone's enjoyed so far with the chat and some of the things we've discussed. I know I had a lot of people in the beginning, and of course they scroll out and then some scroll in. Actually ask relevant questions like Philip. He actually asked, he wanted to know what's going on with the turbine. That was great. So, yep, that was good. So, in the next video that you do see, I did do a 22.2 volt spin up of this fan. So I'll put up a little snippet of that, but it's not going to be like a long video, because while it was impressive and it did knock everything off the table, even at 22 volts, I don't want to focus on that. I'm going to stick with the 48, maybe go up a little bit to like a 14S pack or something like that, rather than 12S. But finding the appropriate batteries that I need is difficult, and they're quite expensive for testing. I don't want to use benchtop stuff because most of them can't handle the amps that I require, and I need industrial grade stuff for that. So doing it this way is better for me. Plus, it puts it in a real world situation where you're dealing with not only the turbine and its function, but you're dealing with how it's working with the ESCs, the battery system, if things are overheating, if things are balanced when you design an actual aircraft. So designing the engine and then testing it on a benchtop power supply isn't something I ever do, because one, I don't have a benchtop power supply, and two, the ones that they would make that could handle the volts and the amps that I require are, like I said, industrial grade, fairly expensive. It's cheaper just to get the batteries I'm going to run the system with, and then go from there. Looks like you guys are all fighting amongst yourselves. I think that's hilarious. Oh, I love it. And one of the things that came off the Bamboo Lab was this, and this is totally cool. This is totally cool, and it was done one print, just switching filaments with the X1 carbon, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. One of the other things I did was this Dragon. I think it was a Game of Thrones one. It was pretty cool. Then it was painted up by the children. The wife, actually, I think, painted this one, I believe. And of course, you have Deadpool. This, which I set over the passenger seat of my car so I can commute on the freeway. No one ever pulls me over. So, that actually works to my advantage. Okay. Goodbye. Yep, you mentioned something about the wife. Out like a light. Alright, so we're getting close to the end of the stream because I'm having network issues, it looks like. So we're probably going to end it there. It's almost 6 o'clock. But I can tell you, this is what we're going to do. This is the next spin up with the big batteries. That'll be what you'll be looking for. I will show the 22 volts that I ran through it. 48 was the first one. I did 22 to do the test. And now we're going to be doing 48. That's going to be up and run soon so I can get... Well, it is up and running because I finally got the post to work with it through Fusion. I had to update it. And this is the mycelium grow. We're getting everything set. The temperature set for the Panella stypticus. And the hydrator's going. And he turned off the light again. Really? Dog. Okay, man. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Turned off the light again on me, dude. You gotta stop that. That dog, I tell you. That's what Geezer wants right there. Wants me to fly it right up to him. High speed. So, yeah. We gotta fly all this stuff. Can't wait to get it in the air. It's always about money, right? It's always about having what you need to get it all done. But the glow-in-the-dark mycelium, this is a bioluminescence experiment. I will be genetically modifying the mycelium itself. And actually genetically modifying the orchid that I'm going to be using in the project. So that's going. We got to keep that in the dark. Getting things ready and saturated for the mycelium once the spores get here. Good on the temp. Humidity's good. All right. Other than that, that's what we're doing. That'll be the next test. The Crocs were all also 3D printed out of TPU. This stuff is so cool. Extremely rigid for TPU. But that's the AMS TPU from Bamboo Lab. It's great stuff. Built a whole plane out of it. Right here. So, glider. Show that wing off later. I think I have it right here. Yeah. Then you can see how tough it is. Single wall print. Can't poke your finger through it. And it works out great. And a couple of Speedy Bees in here. I have to arrange some stuff. Good Lord. But other than that, that'll be a video we do later when I actually arrange this box. So, yeah, basically this is what we're going to do. You're going to see this one going up as... this whole system can be basically one system. With the drive gears, it sits here and pushes it at a 4-to-1. This can be put in a jet, or it can be used as a drone if you want. But basically, the idea is it's a drop-in system where you use something like the MPCNC to cut out all of your balsa wood pieces. And then you put together, say, an F-35 body that you're going to skin later on with that shrink wrap skin or whatever you like. And this engine would be designed around it, or would be designed, the thrust compartment would be designed around this engine. And then you have your intakes out here, each side, of course, and then the exit aperture right there. So this duct work is just for testing on the stand. This is one of the packs I run it with on when I'm doing 22, which is a 6,000 milliamp graphene battery. I have another smaller one over there. Well, it's not smaller, 5,000, slightly smaller, 50C. Just for testing, because I've always tested a lot of different stuff. This one is a 90 millimeter, which I definitely plan on running with a high-end battery. And that avian's not going to be there. It was just for testing. Avians like to explode, so I don't like avians. Waiting for a standard, non-digital ESC. All right, just a 120 that goes in there. I got to run the wires up through for the rudder and everything. Everything's just about ready to go. Just waiting for stuff to get here so I can finish it up. And we'll go from there. So, other than that, basically I think what we're going to do is end up calling this a day. And what we're going to end up doing is the next video is going to be of that turbine. More than likely, that's going to be first. Unless the mycelium gets here, and then I'll probably do a video of me getting it started in the substrate. But the dill drone, we got to wait for a couple of motors for, because one of them didn't want to work right. But I did get it put back together. And then we will go ahead and start experimenting with everything else. I want to get this drone done. I want to get this motor finished out so I can say, it's finished. It's ready to go. I want to get this thing in production so that I can go ahead and start designing the body and a new lip inlet. And maybe an expandable one. You've seen them before. Philip knows what I'm talking about. And other than that, I will see you all next time. I thank you for all stopping by. Please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Just get us out there. Let's get us over 1 million subs by tomorrow, or I'm going to be mad. I'm just kidding. No, I don't have that. I'm barely up to 2,000, if that. 1,800 maybe. So, but I appreciate all the support. You've all been wonderful. And I will see you again. You have a wonderful evening. And everyone, from everyone here at DPC, have a wonderful night.